Following her advice, I lead Lily to the nearest booth as Hanako follows. As I begin to sit next to Lily, I realize how appropriate this place is for Hanako. The high-backed booths totally separate you from the rest of the room, and it doesn't look like it gets all that many customers. All the furnishings, from the cushions on the benches to the condiment holders, look dated but aren't overly worn. I wonder if Lily deliberately selects places like this to take Hanako. She seems like the type that would go to lengths to cater Hanako's unique predicament. Well, it seems every freaking person that he meets seems to go to the Shanghai, so it's not just them, is it? I mean, it's like Shizune and Misha go there, Rin and Emi go there. Kenji doesn't go there though, but that's obvious. And wait, did I just list all the characters then, more or less? Like the main characters anyway.
So I didn't know you played chess.
Well, not very well, but I do know how to play.
I suppose the obvious question would now be, who won?
Lily's innocent smile makes me hesitant. I don't really want to look like I'm lording my victory over Hanako.
It sounded.
Yes, but not by much. Saying that out loud makes me feel like I've done something terrible.
Well done, Asao. You've accomplished something I have only ever failed at.
Thanks. I haven't played in ages, so it felt good to play.
Yes, it did.
Hanako fidgets with her hair a little and looks away as she replies, but a small smile emerges. There's a little more extreme reaction than I expected, but still kind of cute in that Hanako way. It throws me a little off guard, and only Yuko's catalytic re-entry shocks me back into conversation. Are you alright there, Yuko? Do you need a hand?
I'm fine. I have to do this properly. It's my job.
Concentration plays across her face while she stares at the tray in her hands as if simply looking at its contents will hold them in place. Sadly, this doesn't prove all that effective. The cups and saucers slowly dance around, occasionally clattering as they collide with one another. Taking great care, Yuko sets the tray down on the table with only the subtlest of crashes. Wait, what?
There, see?
Well done. Okay, so she did manage it. If you carry plates of any sort, like carry like a plate with a plate on it, or like a plate with a bowl on it, or a plate with a cup on it, or anything. Just it only has to be one on top of the plate, and it'll always make that noise when you walk. It's like clatter, 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 clatter. It's really noisy, isn't it? Well done.
Thank you, Yuko.
Then when she bows, she ends up smashing the plates. Pfft, ow! Yuko's head rockets downwards in her distinctive bow before answering.
You're very welcome. Would you like to join us? There's something else I'd like to discuss about that recent order, if I may.
That's right. Lily and Yuko were discussing a pile of books when I first met Hanako. Something about Lily helping with the bread.
Yes, we didn't get the chance to go through them, did we?
Yuko hastily sits down next to Hanako. Apparently her dedication to this job only goes as far as her concentration. Only once it is broken, she suddenly loses it.
I'll be in the library tomorrow afternoon if you'd like to try again. That sounds perfect. I'll meet you there after classes. Lily. Oh dear, that's right. Tomorrow is Monday. How could I have forgotten?
I'm starting to feel a little left out of the loop here. Then again, that's to be expected. I've been here for barely a week, so it's impossible to know every schedule.
Well, perhaps we could come to some other arrangement. Yuko, will you be in the library later in the week? Maybe, but this is already overdue. And there are some things I needed. This might be a problem.
Lily ponders for a second before discovering the answer.
I wonder, might we be able to enlist the help of another if need be?
Tell you what, you lost me quite some time now. Being volunteered for something without even hearing the slightest idea what is going on is really my favor. And here I thought I'd finally escaped the clutch of the student council and their repeated attempts to recruit me.
Oh, of course, all day I was helping Yuko sort the new hill books in the library. But Hanako and I usually go shopping on Monday afternoons. It's quieter on that day than on weekends. Last week we couldn't go because I was busy with the festival. I managed to slip away later in the week, but Hanako couldn't make it.
Well, since I can't read Braille, I'm assuming you'd like me to go shopping with Hanako?
Correct, you were a great help to me the other day.
I think I can handle that. Hanako, what do you think?
If you wouldn't mind.
Of course not. I'm still not familiar with all the stores in here, so it sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Now that we have that arranged, shall we have some tea?
It's now that I realize our tea has been sitting idly by all this time, getting no hotter.
It's my fault. Let me pour that for you.
Yuko reaches out with shaking hands by the interceptor. She looks in no state to be handling hot liquids. It's alright, I've got it. Since you've already made the tea and sandwiches, you've fulfilled your waitress duties, right?
I guess.
Yuko relaxes a little, but still watches eagerly as I share out the assortment. As I'm about to bite into the sandwich, a low, loud rumble can be heard, along with a flash of light from outside.
I think the show has started.
Only now, looking outside, I realize that dusk has come and gone, leaving us in the peak of twilight. Sparking tracers arc upwards, ready to explode in all shapes of fireworks.
Let's go watch. Sorry, Lily. Please don't miss the show on my account. From what I've heard, this isn't a bad location to watch them from.
With the exception of Lily, we rush to the window of the small tea house to watch the show. The strobe of colored lights plays across Hanako and Yuko's smiling faces, and for a second I forget to look out the window. In this totally new world, there are a few things that don't change. I think that's why the school makes such a fuss over this festival. It's a chance to show the similarities between everyone. The show is over all too quickly. Fireworks are expensive, even for the most well-funded schools. Before we return to our tea and sandwiches, Hanako turns to me.
Thanks for today. And tomorrow.
That's okay. I don't think that I could have fleeced those crowds out. On days like this, it's more relaxed and spend some time away from everyone, don't you think?
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been delaying this tea for far too long now. Let's get back.
Sure.
We return to the booth for an all-night meal.
That sounded impressive. Bigger than last year's, at least. Yeah, it was great. I've never seen them put on such a show. It gets better every year. I'm afraid, however, that during that time the tea has gone cold. Oh no, let me make some more. This is my fault.
Calm down, Yuko. It's nobody's fault. I take a sip from my tea just to prove the point. Tea isn't too bad at all anyway. It's like an iced tea.
Really?
Yes, really. If you add a bit of sugar, it's kind of nice.
Are you sure?
I am positive. Now, why don't you sit down and we'll finish this together?
Okay.
Yuko doesn't seem convinced, but sits down regardless. She carefully measures out about 5 teaspoons of sugar and adds them to her tea. Here I said a bit of sugar.
I know, but I'd like my tea sweet anyway.
Scarcely appear into her cup. As expected, hardly any of the sugar dissolves in the cold liquid. She stirs it twice before upturning the cup and drinking the contents, sugar and all in a single mouthful.
You're right, that's not bad at all.
Good. I look back to Lily and Hanako, both of whom have finished their meal as I witness Yuko's personality in action. Not one to hold anyone up, I use her tactic and finish the remainder of my tea in a single swill. Well then, it seems we're all finished.
Should we head back now, or do we want seconds?
Yuko's expression shows that this is quite clearly not a good idea. I think that would be best if we got back soon. We do have to get back to our curfew after all.
Oh, that is a good point. I'll meet you tomorrow, Yuko. I'll be looking forward to it, Lily. Good night, everyone.
Goodbye, I mean. Well, good night as well, I suppose. We make our way out of the small tea house and into the dark of the night. Lily and Hanako once again take point. Put under the cover of darkness, Hanako seems slightly less stressed than she did on the trip here. We moved against the occasional group of people emptying the school grounds, but Hanako seems to lead us along a few minor roads, avoiding the bulk of the crowd. Outside the dome, the school seems strangely quiet when compared to the noise of the day. Well then, thank you both for today. I think I learned a lot.
You're most welcome, but I'm afraid that I really must be going. Today's been a long day.
That's right, Lily spent all of today on her feet, and I can imagine that walking outside of school would be pretty tiring for her. I feel a pang of guilt as I remember that I was probably the only one in the school that got up around 10 this morning. Sure thing. Well, I'll see you both tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, Sal. Night.
The girls returned to their dorm and I to mine. Actually, now that I consider it, today tired me out as well. It begins! Oh, shut up. Wait, isn't that... I forget the name of that track, but it seems to be the same track but played in a different key. Oh wait, that's with Sonar, isn't it? Played in a different key. Hide and seek Act 2. Man, that arpeggio bit there, I think it was an arpeggio bit, reminded me of Final Fantasy for a second. My alarm blares into my ears, only to be swiftly silenced by my fists. You know, when people do that in real life? You know, smash their fist onto an alarm clock? Because wouldn't that break it? It's like, oh, shut up! Ah, fuck, I gotta buy a new clock now. But then again, most people would use their phones now, and honestly, the durability of phones, I can't imagine someone actually smashing their phone to shut off the alarm. It's just like, that's not how it works, man. My body switches into auto mode, carrying my subconscious self out of bed and into my uniform. As always, my bottle of pills sit on my desk, patiently waiting for me to take them and pick out my daily dosage of medicine. 17 pills a day. 17 pills a day! Holy shit! Before I know it, and I'm opening the door to class free. Glad to see that I'm not the only one who seems to be a little hungover from festival week. Every face in the classroom looks gaunt. With the, or whatever, festival now over, it's as if everyone's life dreams have been achieved. If nothing left to live for, the students have relied on instincts alone to guide them to class. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. I slowly make my way to my seat, and it's only then that I realize why the room is so peaceful. Its behind mine are blissfully empty. The world's loudest interpreter for the deaf has yet to arrive. Never mind, just about to sit down, a door flies open, revealing a pleasant, Misha, whatever, drills, bobbing from the dramatic entrance, an arm stretched towards the sky. Yahoo! It's all over! It would appear that not everyone is affected by the post-festival depression. The rest of the class glare at her, obviously thinking the same thing I am. Misha's still frozen in the doorway with her arms still in the air and nervously looks around. It's obvious that she senses the foul mood, but can't work out exactly what to do. Suddenly, she jerks forward. Hey! As she stumbles into the classroom, she reveals Shizune, arm still extended from where she shoved Misha. Thanks for the entertainment, but shouldn't you two take your seats? Still slightly embarrassed, Misha takes a few seconds to realize she has to translate.
Oh, yeah, Jen says she's not happy with you ditching us last week. We were really busy.
Is that so? What about the stuff I already did for you two?
She says that only council members. Since you declined, she doesn't owe you anything.
And all I can think of with that expression is that freaking image that I ended up putting together where she's like Lord Passions conducting in Muller Free. That was random. Misha leans closer and whispers gently into my ear.
Actually, I think she's just a little sore that you didn't spend the day with her. She's really thankful for your work last week, though.
Seeing that she's being talked about, Shizune lightly wraps her fingers on her desk until Misha turns around to face her. I can't understand any of the fast-paced signing that's going on, but from Shizune's slightly embarrassed expression and Misha's poorly contained laughter, I can guess. While this exchange is happening, the door opens once again, but this time at a much more reasonable pace. Hanako quietly enters the room and pulls the door closed behind her. Peering out from under her hair, she quickly scans the classroom. Her eyes meet, and she suddenly stiffens. She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and then walks over to my desk.
Good morning, Asao.
Morning, Hanako. You're a little late, aren't you?
I was talking to Lily about today.
Ah, so you got her list then. We can leave straight after class in that case.
Sure.
Looking forward to it. Hanako briefly flashes an embarrassed smile at me, then hurries off to her seat. During classes, it becomes apparent that it's not only the students that are a little disappointed after the festival. Udo simply gives us a list of exercises from the textbook and then sits behind his desk. I totally forgot about the brief lunch period for a moment, such is the banality of the day. It's mind-numbing and everyone seems surprised when the bell signaled the end of the lessons. As I'm packing up my bag, Shizune and Misha flank and entrap me.
Say, Hee-chan, it's still not too late to join up. There's a lot of post-festival paperwork for us to complete.
Sorry, Misha, I've got plans. As if sensing the cue, Hanako appears behind me holding a small bag and trying to avoid eye contact with the outside world. Misha's eyes open wide, then she bursts into laughter.
You move fast, don't you, Hee-chan? We won't disturb your date any further.
Behind the roaring Misha, I see Shizune taking far too little interest in the scene. I might be taking this the wrong way, but I think she's deliberately ignoring me. I feel a gentle tug on my shirt and turn to see Hanako's eyes fixed firmly on the floor. Gotcha, Shizune, Misha, I'll see you later. And I'm still not interested in the council.
Sport!
Misha and Shizune retreat into the hallway, happily signing to each other. Got all your stuff? Let's head off. The way I said that, it's like, got all your stuff? Let's go. It's just like, you didn't even wait until she actually responds. Floods of students pour out of the school gates and onto the road in downtown. Still weird, it's almost a scene from any other high school, but the usual fades because of the occasional Mr. Lim. One thing I do notice is that nobody's alone. As Hanako and I pass through the gates, I notice that she closes the distance between us. Not to be considered close, but she certainly isn't at her usual just a little far position. I guess we're not familiar enough for her to get as close as she does with Lily. Or even though she has moved a little closer to me physically, mentally she seems to have traveled a mile. Her hands clutched around the leather straps of her bag to the point of whitening her knuckles, her head down and her mouth pursed closed. She almost looks like she's being walked to the principal's office for the first time. I try to stifle a giggle at the thought, but it is futile.
What's the matter?
I guess there's no point in hiding it. Sorry, for a second there, like you were getting into trouble.
What do you mean?
I think you need to relax a little. We're not going too far. It's only students around, right?
Right.
It bothers me a little to see Hanako so worked up. And you do this every week, don't you?
Yes, with Lily.
Of course, with Lily, I wonder has she ever left the school without her? Doesn't seem like much at first glance, but Hanako's dependence on Lily is absurdly heavy. She can't even handle leaving the school without her. How would she have managed to survive if the two had never met? Would she have found someone else to latch onto, and what drew her to Lily? Was it her lack of eyesight, or was Lily just kind enough to lend a hand? I wonder if anyone would have fit the bill. Well, I'm here. Besides, we're not going far. It'll be over before you know it. Hanako's knuckles slowly regain their color as she tries to hide a small smile, but the effort of that seems to prevent further conversation. We travel side by side down the winding road towards the town. A crowd of students thins as we continue along the sidewalk. Faster students rush ahead, and the less mobile ones fall behind, reviving the crowd into nothingness. By the time we reach the convenience store, we are practically alone. Using me as a shield between herself and the attendant, Hanako moves through the narrow aisles, an assortment of items to her basket. Red milk tea. What kind of convenience store sells herbs? Then again, nothing about this town seems normal, which may not be such a bad thing in retrospect. Everything is so different and uncomfortable. Dwelling on such matters isn't really an option. When I think about that, it reminds me of Hanako. No matter how much you try, you can't escape her scars. They still interrupt my train of thought when I see them. As much as I don't want to admit it to myself, I think I'm forcing myself to try to ignore them. Not that I am scar-free myself. The jagged line down my sternum will never completely fade away. I just have the luxury of being able to hide it easily. But in a way, both of our scars remind me that we're all in this place for a reason. Hanako throws one last item into her basket and then sheepishly holds it out to me along with a few banknotes.
Could you please?
It takes me a second to understand what she's trying to say. Oh, you want me to pay for this? She nods but doesn't look up. I guess this task falls to Lily on the usual occasions. Yeah, sure, let me just grab a couple of things. Hastily I grab a few essential items for myself and head for the counter with Hanako in close tow. The attendant gives me an indifferent nod as he scans in the items. I suppose just ignoring us is one way to deal with the anomalies of Yabaku. They must get a lot of students here, being the closest door to the school. Staff must all have their own way of dealing with us, or maybe they don't. Maybe it's only me who thinks twice about my unique schoolmates. Our transaction complete, Hanako and I head back out onto the streets. The road is pretty much abandoned now. The students that were heading out have already left, and nobody has started returning just yet. When we run into school ahead on the road, there doesn't seem to be anyone else around. The emptiness certainly reflects on Hanako, her arms by her sides, each carrying a bag, her head's no longer bowed and back to the upright position. It's as almost as if she were enjoying this walk. So, why all these weird things? Mixed spice? So why would you need that in school?
I sometimes like to make food.
Well, yeah, so do I, so do I, but spices? That's a little more advanced, don't you think?
Not really.
I don't think it's cool. You'll have to teach me one day.
Sure.
She doesn't seem all that sure, but pushing the point doesn't seem all that wise. At the very least, she seems a great deal happier than she did on the walk down here. The alone makes me a little happier. Outside the girls' dorms, Hanako and I sort out the grocery bags with our respective purchases. In comparison, mine looks positively plain. I tell you, you're putting me to shame here.
No, I'm not.
I'm only joking. I have a stack of homework that I skipped last week, so I must leave now. Will it be alright getting that to your room?
Yeah.
Sure, okay then, I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
We part ways and I return to my room. As the paper sits upon my desk, begging to be completed with the entire ruckus of the last week, I barely had any time to catch up and try to keep up with my studies while I was in hospital, but some of the stuff I've never seen before, even back in my old school. Oh, I know that feeling. I remember, I've said it before, but when I switched schools years ago, when as I said, I ended up being taught at home, but before that, it's when it's I was good at math at one point, but then it introduced all of this stuff that I never learned, and the teacher would more or less just be like, okay, turn to this page and get on with your work and stuff like that, and they just be like, I have no idea what any of this is! What the fuck? Totally unprepared, I pop the top on a can of drink and get to work. And like Hanako, it's with me, it's an ordinary person would just be like, if they have trouble with something, ask the teacher, raise your hand, stuff like that. But me, I just was never able to do that. In fact, even to this day, I'm still bad at that. When I'm at college, when I finish whatever I'm doing, I just kind of just sit there and wait for the person there to notice that I've finished, because for some reason I just find it difficult to just kind of be like, yeah, I'm done. It's weird. Totally unprepared, I pop the top on a can of drink and get to work. Oh, son of a bitch, not again. That's how it is. The days are really starting to heat up. This morning I woke up in sweat. Sometimes in my starts leaving at home for breakfast and morning duties. I was taking full back on me. That puts me in hot spirits. On evening and I feel that this day is gonna be one of those pleasant tranquil ones. I went out of school that considered every absent from class as a sign of a life-threatening situation. I consider skipping the whole day and just relaxing in the school gardens. Yesterday will be a generally lazy day. For a second I stop in mid-stretch and consider nurses warning about exercise. Maybe I should have kept up those morning jogs. Wonder if something like Emmy might have been a little testing, but if I worked at my own pace. Who am I kidding? I couldn't stick to something like that without some kind of motivation. Well, he did have motivation in Emily's route, but that was obvious. It's not like I sit around all day. The walk to and from the convenience store counts as exercise, right? Especially the walk up the hill. It's no big deal compared to months lying in a hospital bed. I'm getting plenty of exercise. It seems that I'm not alone in my appreciation of the day. Nearly every member of the class is glancing through the window and into the tantalizing sky. Even the steadfast Shizune seems to lack her usual vigor for schoolwork. Misha, as brazen as ever, has even unbuttoned the top buttons of her shirt and is fanning herself with a notebook. It must have been... I must have been staring, as she's now sticking her tongue out at me. But she shows no sign of halting her efforts, nor is she trying to hide the facts. The lunch bell seemed to catch everyone by surprise, and the class empties at a much slower pace than usual. The heat seems to be draining the need to rush from everyone. Well, almost everyone.
Hey, Sal?
Hey there, Hanako. What can I do for you today? What can you do for her today? Well, be for next time. I shall see. It's like, I always do that, don't I? It's like, when I stop a recording, I always wait till it's like some kind of cliffhanger of some sort, isn't it? Where it's just like, it has to be at a point where it's like, what will happen in this scene? Even if it's like something just like we've seen before. Just like, what will happen here? We've seen it before, but we haven't seen this before because we've officially, since the movie with Hanako and like when it said Act 2, we're officially now on Hanako's route, essentially. But anyways, though, I will see you next time, bears. See you next time.